Hello, welcome back. Lex Gray here. This is episode 18 of Wolf Past Echoes. We continue our trek underneath the Ashford, which is the burnt remnants, ruins of our character's birthplace, Wolf. So, we've approached a strange door that appears to be magically sealed via some shadowy formed chains of sorts, and there's a lock right in the middle. We discovered that Wolf has some kind of, doesn't know it yet entirely, but some kind of command over the shadowy force that rules the area, that inhabits the area, mostly underneath the grounds of Ashford, which is something I've been trying to prop up because, again, he is the sole descendant, the surviving descendant, supposedly. His parents, we don't know yet if they're dead, but he is the current only descendant of the Ashford lineage, if you consider the whole village as a family per se, not blood related, but the very last surviving member of the village. Now we are with Jory. Jory is a potentially he will be a potential villain here, but that's a secret. That's not known to Wolf yet. Jory has his plans. He wants to use Wolf. He's been using Wolf to get to this vault in order to unseal whatever's behind it so he can rule the world, whatever he wants to do. We'll figure that out. Obviously, we'll be using our discovery meaning list here, the one-page mythic. And I'll be using this more often for intros and outros if I don't forget. And times when it's more narrative heavy, less on the paper, more me trying to role play certain moments, and because it kind of helps me get the details out there for you guys as you watch. So let's jump to the table and continue. Okay, like I said before, we are underneath Ashford, which is right here in tile two, and we approached the door. So as Wolf is at the door, because as mentioned, he has some kind of command authority over this dark force that inhabits the area. Let's write that down, by the way. So sorry, Wholf has, I should probably say dominion, if I'm using that word right, over shadowy force, mainly in Ashford. By the way, we have switched systems. I've almost forgot. I'm using Fate Accelerated. Want to try Fate Accelerated out because it's fascinating and since slightly simplified version of core and condensed, even though the system is light anyways. But I've been reading the book and I'm very eager to try it. So our character has been Wolf has been converted over to Fate Accelerated, which didn't take too much time. Just I need to get used to using the approaches moving forward. So with that out of the way, let's return to the episode. Now, as I'm thinking of either compelling an aspect, not necessarily an ATM just yet, but compelling an aspect of Wolf. He's bound by lineage. That's his trouble. So that works out here. And because of that, does he accept the bound by lineage to get one extra fate point up there? Because we start with three at a refresh rate. I think after seeing what happened to Jory, he's thinking that this shadowy force didn't bother him. So Hulf is connecting the dots here. Let's go back to my ugly mode. Hulf is connecting the dots here. And he's beginning to think that whatever is compelling him, literally and figuratively for the game, he has to, at some point, deny it. Not wholeheartedly, but deny it to an extent where he can exercise his own free will. So what we'll do is we will do an approach. He's going to deny this one. If he denies it, then I will give him a +2 on the next roll to open the lock, the shadowy, magically sealed lock. So let's grab let's grab some fate dice and figure out which approach we're doing here and what we're doing here. So Wholf is attempting to deny the compel, and we're going to roll for it. We're not accepting it, we're denying it. We're going to use, I think because we're kind of under pressure here, it's going to be forceful. He is mentally trying to reject this force as he's so close to the door. This is his end goal for his current quest, or this is the prize fighting moment. Remember, I always have a +2 as my target number, but there may be modifiers, which the +2 is the if he gets this right. So we're rolling against the compel, and we have a 3 on our a +3 on our forceful. So he's forceful trying to get it. I will let it stay at that because again, this is his domain. Let's roll for it with our +3. We're shooting for that +2. And it is a 1, which is 4 over the target number 2. So we resist the compel of the trouble aspect. The target number was force 2 as usual, and we rolled a forceful total of that's 1, which was 3, that's 4. There we go. Success. And now that gives him an ATM in the moment for mental focus, which will allow him to break the lock, whether it's physically or mentally. This will still apply on his next roll. Now, I have not forgotten that I have to scroll. So I actually won't let him use his bare hands to grab the lock. I will not allow him to roll this. He attempts to grab the lock, but his hands go right through it. It's literally intangible. Jory kind of taps him on the shoulder with the staff, and he says, as Jory is still kind of, his mind is still a little stained from what happened. But Jory basically taps him on the shoulder with the staff. This is a staff right here. This pencil that's been cut off by my dismembered shoulder and my terrible effects budget. He taps him on the shoulder and says, "You know what? Let's try the scroll. This might be the reason why you even have in the first place." So Jory is going to or Wholf is going to take the scroll out. Wholf is going to take the scroll out and use it. That's a +2 with an allied with an assist. So I'm going to write down as I show you guys here. I'm writing down ally assist from Jory. That's a +2. He's going to attempt to use a stunt, which is not a bonus or anything, not a bonus to the roll. It is just a granting permission to use a scroll or granting Wholf to be able to make this action happen. So we're shooting for that +2 with the assist and the mental focus. That's +4 total. Now, what are we using? I think we're using careful here. So that's a +1. Let me write down what we're using here. Careful. That's a +1. Okay, so we have our bonuses here. That is going to be +5 bonus on everything considered, and our roll will be the following. Okay, so flatline, nothing. But our 5 over 2 allows, this was the result, the roll of a success. Now, it's a success with style, which means that not only is it a standard success, but we get an extra benefit, narratively speaking. So let's jump pages here. Not only does the lock break, but we need to roll on our oracle to see what the benefit is. So success. The the lock that's formed via a shadowy force dissipates, the chain unwinds, and the door is revealed completely Success was style, so we need to figure out what that style was. Let's roll on our um, let's roll on our list here. What exactly is the style here? 38. We have emotions, 44. Important. Okay, so emotions, important. So I didn't put much effort. I totally forgot about the scroll. So he unravels the scroll and he reads the words, the enchanted words. The scroll, I forgot about the scroll. I'm sorry. Even though I said he's using it, I was too generalized. Narratively, he uses the scroll. So I'm right down here. Use the scroll, and the scroll turned into a blue flame and evaporated. It burnt into a crisp. It burned up. The chain comes apart. The, the lock is gone, and the ground starts to shake. The door starts to the giant, large double door starts to open, cracks open slowly. A bunch of warm air, stale air, dust just brushes past both Ulf and Jory. Door opens up completely to reveal the chamber. So now we're in the chamber. The chamber, trying to get this. I still don't. I still. I won't forget the extra benefit here. I think this will apply in the chamber itself. I don't think it's going to happen before the door opens, but after the doors open. So the door opens, and now we reveal this massive underground chamber. And I think it is going to be a large dome with kind of a blue tinted ceiling, and there's a chandelier hanging in the middle with blue candles kind of floating. Think like Harry Potter in the main auditorium or the main court dining area hall where all the students in the school's houses sit, and all the candles are kind of floating around. Well, that's the candle. That's the chandelier. They're all just kind of floating around. And on the ground, it's probably just not cinder block, stone. Yeah, a stone floor. There's no doors in the chamber. It's just this one door itself. And as the vault opens to reveal the inside of the chamber, which is I'm going to say this whole underground area is called the vault. There are well, let's see. Let's roll here. So I'm still not forgetting the benefit. I'm working my way to that, but I want to get the chamber itself. So it's a large dome, blue chandelier, chando as I call it, and um, at the middle of the room, the chamber. Let's roll for. What exactly do we see? We'll roll two descriptors. 47, lacking 10. So let's see here. This is the extra benefit. A little reminder for myself here. Extra benefit. And the appearance on the ground level, the ground floor, we have lacking and 10, which is going to be clean. Oh, okay. The ground is completely empty. There is nothing surrounding, but there is something in the middle. That's something I want to intend. And because it's clean and lacking, this something is not tangible, or it's sorry, it's intangible. I'm using that word right. It's not something you can touch. Clean. I think it's a mirror. I believe it's a standing mirror. Like it's a decorative mirror that's about 5 feet tall. So let's go back to the table. So on the floor, there's a floating mirror even. Okay, I like that. So there's a floating mirror. And Jory's looking around because he's confused. He was expecting a pile of treasure, gold, but he's not necessarily spoiling the not Zach, this is not the moment he betrays Wholf. Not yet. Jory is behind Wholf, standing. Let me get to my here. Jory's standing behind Wholf, right behind him. Wholf is like mesmerized by the way of looking at it, and he's as usual entranced, looking at this mirror. Now, does Jory see the mirror? I don't think so. So let's roll for it. Does Jory see the mirror? 10% chance. He does not. Okay, so this mirror. Okay, so Hulk only sees the mirror. Jory does not. Doesn't. Okay, I'm going that because that's very important. Jory doesn't see it, which means this thing, this item that only makes itself present is visible to someone of the bloodline of Ashford. That's Wolf. Hulk. I keep saying Hulk, and it's like right here. Wolf. The W silent. So he sees it, and he starts walking up to it. Jory says, "What are you doing?" Like he asked Wolf, Hulk what he's doing. Wolf doesn't answer. Jory's looking around. He's like, doesn't see anything, and Hulk is just kind of walking like this. And as he gets closer to the mirror, it looks like waves of an ocean, like water. It's like a rippling effect. He's looking at it, and as he gets up to it, let me write this stuff down. I want to forget. This is very important. So the mirror, let's say, kind of shows ripples like water, but it's darkness. Darkness, shadows. I mean, that's obviously the theme here in this area. This is supposed to be the ruins of Ashford. So as he walks up to the mirror, does he hear anything? And that is a emotions, and that's the prior roll. That's our success roll with style. It's the emotions and important. I mean, I couldn't have rolled a better result. He hears the voice of his parents. He hears two voices, two adults, one male, one female, and they're crying out his name. They're yelling, "Oh, oh, please help us!" They're shouting out for help. And Hulk is like, he's he's blown away by what he just heard. He hears two voices. Does he think it's his parents? Yes. His parents have been on his mind the entire campaign so far. Well, maybe since learning about his lineage. Like, and the court was like, your parents are kind of dead, but not really. I mean, it's still up in the air. So he thinks it's his parents. Let's go back to the table. He hears his parents' voice shouting for help, shouting help, like so. Okay. So as he does that, he turns. I think at this point he's ignoring Jory completely. He's infused on this mirror. He's ignoring everything else in reality and just focuses one moment in time in this mirror. Jory doesn't see it. Jory's an outsider. He's a potential uh, antagonist in the story, and Jory does not see it. Jory's still befuddled and he's watching Wholf zombie walking towards the center of the room, and then Jory also looks at the chandelier. And he's like, he's still wondering what the heck this place is. Is it symbolic? Is there treasure? What is he not seeing? The chandelier is the only thing in the room that looks like it's of value. So Jory's trying to run through his head like, what can he do here? Does he betray Wholf? Does he kill him? Does he stop him? What is there to do? There's nothing in this freaking chamber. So it wasn't gutted. Nothing was stolen from here to Jory. He was expecting. Well, I'm saying that from a GM's perspective. This place was sealed off, and this mirror is actually very valuable. It's the mirror itself. So back to Wholf. Wholf is looking at the mirror. I want to say what he can do, but I want to roll to see what the Oracle thinks he may do. If I don't like it, I'll just decide. But I'm really curious. Let's roll an action first. 24. Control. Okay. 46. So this is a question mark. Control 46 is going to be incomplete. He tries to, well, okay, he's trying to control the situation. He's trying to save, let's go back to my face here. He's trying to save his parents or whoever's screaming for help. He tries to put his hand through the mirror. But this roll right here basically says there's a resistance to him just putting his hand through the mirror. So he tries to put his hand in the mirror, but it's solid, like it's a mirror. You put his hand on it, but it does ripple, like it does interact with him like a touchscreen TV. So let's roll to see. This will be a roll, like an actual fate roll. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to be forceful, not clever because he's entranced. He's not thinking straight. He's desperate to save whoever's behind that mirror, and he thinks it's his parents. So rolling forceful plus two. The two is our standard target number, but because the resistance is going to be a -2 on the roll. So this is the roll here that I resulted. The extra benefit, remember, was that it's his parents that are screaming. That's the extra benefit. That he's so close to discovering about where they are. Are they dead? Are they alive? Are they trapped in some kind of portal? Are they trapped in the Dark Realms? Are we going back to that? So, Wholf attempts to enter the mirror, like so. This will be a roll. Okay, so let's first out figure out what we're going to do here. None of our stunts can really work here. Control the shadows. I think this is out of the shadows control. Lesson taught by Edwin. He is not all there mentally, so it's going to be that will qualify. Bound by lineage, it actually might work against him. Hair of Ashford. I'm actually not going to use any aspects here. He's too focused on this. Let's say that the penalty will be -2. The target number, as always, is 2. And we're using forceful once again. Well, actually, let's scratch that. Forceful is a +3. As he's trying to force his hand or trying to force his way into the mirror. Let's roll and see what happens. We have a +3 on this roll with a -2 penalty. Okay, so we have nothing. Once again, flat lines, which means that is a 3 minus 2 is 1. He fails. Though, based on the rules, you can say he succeeds, but with a major setback. So here's what happens. He does get into the mirror. He steps into the mirror. He's able to get in, but the mirror shatters. He's trapped in the mirror. Behind it. Wherever he went into, he's trapped. So in Jory's eyes, he sees Wholf transition out of reality, just disappears as just it goes past him. There's nothing there like a portal, but he can't see the portal. That makes sense. Like a linear wipe. That's what I'm trying to think of. A wipe, like a transition, but from behind him. So it kind of just goes around his head, and Hulk is gone. And Jory's like, he's speechless. He doesn't want. Now Jory is a magic user. He probably has an idea what has happened. He's Jory's probably thinking from experience that's again magic user and being the leader of an arcane, a spell, a magic wielding evil organization syndicate thing. He probably knows what happened. He's like he curses out loud. He screams or he slams his. He tries a spell. Okay, so here let's write this down. Okay, so Hulf vanishes through the mirror because of that failed roll. It was a success. He didn't want to get in there, but with a major setback, he got through. The mirror uh, breaks apart and disappears. In the eyes of Wholf, even still looking at it, the glass was shattered. The mirror was shattered. But to Jory, he saw nothing. Jory is confused, and he's going to use a staff to do like a magic detect magic spell, the base one. Let's do detect magic. straight from D&D. Detect magic. And in doing that, he slams his staff on the ground, and a large radius of glowing white light just kind of engulfs the entire chamber. And you can see the blue flame is still blue. Nothing's changed in the chandelier. But you can see remnants of magic that's kind of dissipating into like little crystals, like little stardust onto the ground, and it goes away. So you saw for a quick second that there's something that Wholf interacted with and just vanished. There's no scroll. There is um, there's no treasure down here. There's nothing of value, and whatever was value is gone, thanks to Wholf. So Jory is left alone. The doors are still open, then close on him, but the retainer, the uh, only wielder of lineage, is gone from the area. So what happens to the chamber? What happens to the vault? Now that there was the anchor was there, is gone. Let's ask the Oracle. What happens to the chamber now that Holt is gone and Jory is trapped? Or Jory is down there, not trapped yet. Let's see. 94. Stop. Okay, so this will stop. And then the second one would be the scripter. 71. Peaceful. Okay. So, as this is kind of based on my role, as Jory is doing the magic detect magic spell, he blinks for a moment, just a regular blink, and he's not in the chamber anymore. He's back on the ground floor. He's back on the ground upstairs on outside in the courtyard, and he's like he just got teleported away. So in like an instant, the Jory is back upstairs outside. That's 2 stars. That's worth a note there. And the hatch is gone. And that's it for episode 18. That's where I'm ending it. I'm putting on a cliffhanger. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'll just have to roll my way through it as usual. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly liked it. This was more mystical than anything else, but where we left off, Wolf is trapped in some mirror dimension, maybe the Dark Realms, we don't know. Um, and he heard his parents through the mirror, this portal, and I don't think it actually is the Dark Realms. I think it's a totally different, maybe it's a pocket dimension. There's a hint for you guys. And Jory is sent back upstairs on the ground floor, and he's just completely blown away what just happened. So this magic's probably beyond him, beyond his knowledge. Maybe. So he can't betray. He didn't betray Wolf. He probably should have. Probably should have stopped him. But again, it was more mesmerizing than anything. As Jory was expecting again. He was expecting something, a magical artifact that he could steal out of the hands of Wholf. But it wasn't so cut and dry. Wasn't that cut and dry? So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Thanks for watching.